And Ground Control was one of those things that once we discovered it and once we started playing with it, we really saw like, wow, this is distinctly different from other equipment out in the market, and it's something we really felt strongly enough about to make an investment in and commit to it. And I think that can't be underestimated. It's the most significant brewing technology I've seen in many years, and I'm really excited to have it. My name is Rich Avella, and I'm one of the founders of Highwire.
I'm Robert Myers. I'm also one of the founders at Highwire.
So Highwire Coffee Roasters, we're a self-funded East Bay coffee roaster and retailer. We've each been working on coffee for about 30 years, and in that time we've tasted a lot of coffee, a lot of cups of coffee. We've seen a lot. We've seen a lot of coffee companies come and go. We've seen different roast styles. We've seen different equipment, and we're not people that quickly jump on trends. But innovation is really important to us.
We installed one of the first ground control production brewers in one of our cafes, and it was real early days, and Josh or Ellie would show up at the cafe like 7 in the morning, like just to help us out. It just felt like they weren't gonna let us fail, and I felt like that was a big part of us just kind of saying like, yeah, let's see this through, let's see what more we can do with it.
If I think back to when I first heard about ground control and the technology, it just sounded wrong to me. One of the fundamental ideas of being able to basically reinfuse the same grounds with water multiple times. I didn't understand. It just seemed like that couldn't work. So I was curious. We've always used batch brewers in our cafes, and they're typically a drip brewer, and you're deciding on a ratio, you're deciding on a grind. You can control the water temperature more or less, and you're pretty much just those are your controls, and you press start and the water goes through the grounds and you get your cup of coffee. And you can get a really good tasting cup of coffee like that if you have it dialed in, but you pretty much have a one-size-fits-all recipe or setup for each coffee. One of the things that I was drawn to with ground control is the ability to dial in specific recipes by coffee. And so it uses vacuum and multiple stages of brewing, so breaking up the extraction into multiple stages, where you control the temperature, you control how long each extraction is, and how long the vacuum is pulling the brewed coffee out of the grounds. And each time you pull that vacuum and pull the brewed coffee out of the grounds, it resets them so that when you send fresh water over them again, it starts extraction again, starts the extraction curve over again, and you can pull out additional good qualities. The thing that's amazing to me is that you can make a move of 2 seconds in one of those cycles and taste it in the cup. 1 second. I mean, it's the resolution of control is very high in getting the textures and flavors you want out of the coffee. We're working on using it for iced lattes, so we're able to brew espresso strength coffee on ground control and pull the iced latte orders out of our drink queue at busy times, so the barista's not having to deal with that. Somebody else, a bar back, can peel off and make the iced lattes. Customer gets them more quickly. It allows us to get to all of our drinks more quickly. So that's been a win.
I also just think it's given us a reason to kind of just do a deeper dive into what is an iced latte to us. And I think for a long time I just didn't think too much about it. I probably would have given you the answer of like, well, it's a cold version of a hot latte. And to a certain extent that's true, but I think when Rich started describing like the espresso strength coffee coming off the ground control is almost like coffee ice cream, I was like, that sounds way better. For an iced latte, who doesn't want that?
Yeah, ground control. I think of David Bowie, I think of space travel, and now I think of a great coffee brewer. So it's all positives to me.